We need to raise our game. We need more rigor in the classroom in K-12. We need to do better in science and math. And the Common Core, when you talk to people, say they don't disagree with the goal of Common Core. The implementation is the problem. So people understand that we are in a global economy. We're competing against the rest of the world. We need to do a better job. Common Core is a worthy effort, and I'm supportive of its goals, but the implementation has to change. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to, I hope, maybe getting renewed attention to our proposal before the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael Fitzpatrick. Our next speaker is someone who has brought much to the table and assisting us on educational issues. He understands business, he understands Long Island's needs, and he has helped us providing testimony and insight. He's a man who is the child of 2 teachers. His wife is a principal, and they have school-age children. A good friend to us, and someone who has made the Common Core one of the cornerstones. Avi Fertig.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, I do come here as the child of 2 educators. My parents were both educators. My wife is a school principal in a school for an early education program. I do have 4 school-age children, and when I think of Common Core, I think of the term, the expression, the road to, well, you know where, is paved with good intentions. And my feeling about Common Core is that it was conceived with good intentions, but very much like a home, which is already in construction, you can't just decide to change the foundation just because somebody who claims to be an expert thinks that that's the most expeditious way to improve this building. Very often, changing course midstream is not the smartest idea. Core curriculum, as I'm saying, is certainly conceived with good intentions, but we absolutely need to stop. We have to press the pause button. We have to realize that the way it was implemented completely undermines those good intentions. Doing something for the money is certainly not a reason to gamble with our kids' education, with their futures. When a child who goes to school every day and comes home feeling elated and productive starts to come home feeling depressed, completely burnt out, and absolutely devastated about their potential in school simply because all the rules changed midstream, it's not fair. It's not fair to our kids, and it's not even fair to the parents. And not only that, it's not fair to the teachers. What about the teachers who, they get a sense of satisfaction from what their kids are learning? And when one day their kids they just sit in class, they're completely bewildered. They don't do their homework anymore. They don't want to do well on tests. They don't want to study. They don't even enjoy sitting in a classroom. That is an indicator. It's like taking the temperature on somebody who's ill and recognizing that something's changed. The temperature has gone up, there's something different. We need to do something about it. What we need to do today is we need to take a very close look at what's happening with core curriculum, recognizing that our kids have a fever. It's not right to just stand by and allow it to happen. We need to take decisive action. We need to take honest action. We need to recognize that the road to good intentions does not necessarily have to lead to a bad place. As long as you go about it in the proper pace, with the proper intentions, and with a perspective that's both educated, knowledgeable, well, not both, and taking into consideration the concern of the children's well-being, their futures, their present, that's the way to go about doing it. And that's the way I proposed. And I really, truly hope that those who created the core curriculum are going to take a strong and close look at what they've done and be intellectually honest and recognize that it's time to back off a little bit, dial back a little bit, and recognize that things that are done are not always set in stone. They sometimes need to be reevaluated, reworked, and what we're proposing today is certainly a way to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Avi Fertig, for your help and expertise in helping us do battle to try to bring tremendous reform to the Common Core. You've met the leaders, Michael Fitzpatrick, Tom McKevitt, David McDonough, Michael Montesano, Al Graff, and Ed Ra, who is the lead sponsor on the Apple Plan. We have heard the message of over-testing, of testing to fail, of taking up so much time studying for tests that children aren't getting a balanced education. We're demanding passage of the Apple Plan to relieve Long Island of this tremendous problem and to listen to the public. We want all of the public to respond to our offices, to join forces with us. We are not letting go of relief on the Common Core mandate. I'd like to especially thank the lead sponsor, Ed Ra, Al Graff, and Dave McDonough, who took tremendous amounts of time traveling across the state to make sure that everyone's voice was heard. And we all join with them as sponsors of this legislation. We want the public to know we've heard your cries, and we will not let go until we bring proper reform to the Common Core. And to be the capstone of this press conference, the leader of this issue, I once again introduce the sponsor of the Apple Plan, Assemblyman Ed Ra.
Thank you, Joe. In closing, really part of the reason why we're coming together today is over the last week or two, a number of more states have pulled back on this. Oklahoma, Indiana had months ago done so, South Carolina, there's a bill moving through the North Carolina legislature, and you know, these are obviously different states with all different needs. There's one thing in common. If you take a look at some of the legislation, it looks a lot like what we're proposing here in New York, and in fact, we know that some of these states have actually looked at our legislation and incorporated provisions of it into their own. So we feel that while the other states are deciding to lead as states and push back against the federal government, our state decided to short-circuit the conversation last Tuesday in the Education Committee by holding this bill. And we think that this is an issue that is far too important to not do everything we can to get right. Thank you for coming. If there's any questions, we'd be happy to take them. All right, thank you very much.